Hello, and welcome to some more Satisfactory. This is a Friday stream, and we are continuing on pretty much from where we were last time. I can't honestly remember whether I did anything or not this week. I don't think so, but certainly I've not done anything on the nuclear. Because it didn't say managed resistance, and this is a series where I'm attempting to play through the game, having never actually never actually finished. Well, never played it since I bought it back in, when it first came out in early access. So I've missed out on all the updates 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 4 seemed like a good opportunity to come back in. They've managed to do update 5, and update 6 is about to start, so it's all got a bit confusing. But basically, what I'm going to do today is hook up the nuclear because... Oh, wrong button. I've got one reactor here. The intention of what I've built is to run 4, but I don't actually need the power just yet. And we're going to have to do some sort of handover between coal power and nuclear power at some point, but not yet. And this is the setup, essentially, and it's waiting for actual uranium. So I have left all of these here, haven't I? I might have to come and pick all of this up. Or we could take it with us, maybe, when we go and work on the steel foundry, because there's quite a lot of stuff in here. But I should have somewhere... Oh no, I've got it on me, sorry. I thought the radiation suit was in the box, but it was not. Right, so we've got the thing there. So what we need to go and do is hook up... Okay, that's weird. Oh, I've got that the wrong way around. I'll just leave it. I put my things the wrong way around, so I can see chat, but it's only a tiny window. Oh well. Right, so yes, so over there is Heath Robinson sort of a situation, bringing in uranium, and I need to hook it up to here, basically. But to do that, we've got to work in the radiation suit, because any proximity to the old uranium will irradiate us. But it is literally the only thing that needs doing. We'll probably work backwards, is what I'm thinking. So what we need to do here is extend... Have I got concrete on me? A bit, yeah. I need to extend this up, right, so that I can connect up the... zoop on. Connect up the uranium. I didn't put... Have I got something to mark? Huh. Let's just jump in the water and see if I've got something here. Marking where it needs to come in. No, I have not. Actually, oh no, it's going into these blenders, isn't it? Okay. So it's not actually going in. It's not actually going in. Oh, it's connected there, look. That's it. That is it. So, that's right on the edge of two beams, unfortunately. So, I'll have to sort of extend 2 of them over. But basically, this needs to go up to the post there. Did that go all the way? I think I missed one, didn't I? Yeah. Or missed 2, in fact. Right. So, the actual belt needs to be coming along here. So we need to put one of these in, I think. So I'll try and do it backwards. I might mess it up and get it wrong, but we will see. That's too long. Okay. Oh wait, is that not properly aligned? So it should be there. Which is there. Which is not where I've put that support. Okay. Whoops. So support should be here, I think. I think that's more accurate. And the purpose of this is really just to hook it up and see if it's working. I'm not too fussed, I say, about having the nuclear run. We'll just leave it running, but it'll back up with nuclear waste, and I eventually need to work out what I'm going to do with the nuclear waste. But yes, so we need a connection here, and I'd suggest some kind of lift is probably in order. So we need loggy sticks, we need the conveyor. And then we go up there. So how am I going to tell whether that's high enough? What I could do is just stick on the jetpack just for 1 second. Then we can put that on there. I think I clicked to the right point there. Hopefully that looks too small actually. Okay, we'll give that another go. So this is the input and that's the output. Okay. There we go to there. Ouch. Right. Well, actually, we'll leave the. No, in fact, we'll jump up the cliff. In fact, should have done it in the first place. Shouldn't have just guessed it. Should have landed on here and done it. But never mind. Right. So where are we actually going? We do have to be slightly wary of spiders because there was a spawny thing there. But I think the presence of the power pole will deter them from spawning. But you never know. So there's the uranium there. Ooh, nuts. So we could get over to there. Okay. So maybe if we put a little pole here. Like that. And then there'll be maybe one halfway along. There. And then where's going to go down there? It'll probably let me just do the belt downwards with it. Don't necessarily need. They always look weird, the downwards based belts, but I think that's fine. So connect that to there. Let's say it's hop onto there. Go back up here. I think actually this needs to be level 2 belt. In fact, did I make it level 2 belt? No, that isn't. Is that a level 2 conveyor there? No. So even if it is already done... Oh, there we go. That's your radiation. Even if it already is up further up, I've not done it here. I say I think it does need to be level 2 to do what I want. So it's going to take a little while to come through. In fact, we could just sort of cheat it. No, let's just leave it for the time being. But let's just check that it does come through here. This is kind of the key bit. I'm not sure I got quite right, but we'll have a see. So yeah, so the plan is after this. So decide whether I pick up the resources or leave them here, because I need to leave some stuff, or I'll need to bring back some stuff to make the additional nuclear reactors, because I've only put down one, and it's not where it needs to be anyway. So yeah, there's that. But the idea is to, well, we could just work on the regular foundry, you know, the copper and iron one. But I thought maybe a bit more interesting if we work up a steel foundry, and I'll put it sort of here somewhere. No particular reason for that. I mean, it might actually be better if it was there, but the trouble is I think that's where all the rocks are, and so it's a bit of an uneven bit of ground, whereas this is just sand dunes, so it's a little easier to work with. I don't hear anything. Oh, no, there we go. So it's coming along. It's surprising how slow. I'm not going to take damage because I got the thing on, but oh no, I haven't got the thing on. I've got it on now. But it's not a lot of point just using it up, sort of for no reason. So we'll let it chug around, and we'll take a different route. Can I jump in the water here? Huh, look, I've obviously killed something there. I thought it despawned the bits and pieces, but I guess not. Oops. The swimming is weird. I mean, it's not really swimming, it's more like walking in water. Oh, I bet I've got to put my legs on, haven't I? There we go. Get me coffee cup. Have a little bit of a sip. Let's put that on just in case. So here we go. Here's your uranium. If I've got a splitter here, I guess it's going... Oh, do I not take damage? I don't... Oh, of course. Wait. Alright. Oh, no, there we go. It was just taking a little while to catch up for some reason. But that's uranium coming in now. I'm guessing, yeah, these pipes are probably full by now, aren't they? Might have to put a valve, like a limit on this. Like, might actually have to use the valves. Because there's a good chance this will sort of fill the void. It sort of depends on whether it really produces at this rate. Because they should consume more than this is producing, but you get some back out again. It's a bit of a... Took me a little while to understand how that would work in this game without, you know, without logic systems. Can I climb up there? No. Okay. Can't get over the pipes without my legs on. So that's a sulfur coming in. That's all fine. Oh look, there we go. Uranium cell. Oh, it's produced quite a few as well, hasn't it? Excellent. Now, big question. So at least that's working. I say, whether it really works with the sulfuric acid flowing round, I don't know yet. We will have to see. I was debating with myself whether to make this look a bit fancier, so as in turn it into a proper factory. But I think if I do that, I'll do it after update 6. I don't think there's any point me sort of tarting this up now, because there's a good chance that this is going to change in some way. So they're all going in. Okay, has it made a fuel rod or anything yet? It's still waiting on those. Okay. Oh, this shouldn't be at 100%. That doesn't seem right. Hang on. I've got Factorio Lab pre-prepped here. So this should be at... No, I haven't. I've got the wrong Factorio Lab pre-prepped. So I want that one. If you set, one of the things I like about Factorio Lab is you can just save the URL and it captures all your settings. Because that's how it's done. Basically, the URL has the settings in it. So this machine... Oh, yeah. Yeah, so it's exactly 2 running at 100%. Okay. I thought they needed to be underclocked, but I guess not. Convenient. Maybe that's why I picked it. So we're just waiting for these to come in. They're being produced at quite a rate, actually. I was a bit surprised about that. As I suspect it may not be. It may need higher level well for the uranium coming in, but so in other words, the machines down there may be a bit capped because of inputs rather than. I mean, these things are super slow to make. 0.4 per minute, you see. So it takes 2.5 minutes to even make one. But then the actual reactors only burn them at like one can support 5 basically. You know, it takes 5 minutes for it to burn through one basically. So it's not. Oh, it's quite cool how they glow, isn't it? Well, I quite like that. But I think you can also, as I understand it from the wiki, you can use these in vehicles, so you can have uranium-powered vehicles, and I would guess they must last ages. If you can't tell, I'm trying to fill the time because we've got 5 more left, and then 2.5 minutes. But yeah, so I want to see it through. This should have. Let's just check. This has got water in it because it is sort of leaching off of the other system. It's got no water. Oh yeah, it's all full of water. Okay. And in terms of the waste, what I think I'm going to do, but for the time being, we'll just let it back up in the machine. But what I'll probably do before I can reprocess it into plutonium is because you can use plutonium as fuel, but you can also just stick it in a sink, and it's quite valuable in a sink. So it might be best just to do that rather than mess about with plutonium. Have we made one yet? Have we made one yet? We are making one. We are 30% of the way there. Of course, I could have just, if thinking about it, I could have tried to overclock this machine, couldn't I? Especially with power now changing, rather than have two of them. Oh, it was a good exercise anyway. But if I doubled the speed of this to 200%, that's effectively the same as one machine. Oh well. Now, I believe these are going to be radioactive, but we will see. You would expect them to be, but you never know. See, it's backing up quite nicely in there. Everything else is obviously sort of over full because it's been chugging away for ages. So we're halfway there. I thought these had like unique animations depending on what they're doing, but they're not. They're just like, I mean, they're unique to the machine, obviously, but they're actually sort of generic. Doesn't have a special animation for each product. Not that I'm complaining, I just thought that was how it worked, and it doesn't. How are we doing? Nearly there, nearly there, nearly there. But yeah, so we'll go over and, in fact, let's... Oh! I'm on the bell. Let's see about, if we were to empty this out, where is the... Oh, it's over there. Okay. Truck's over there. So maybe... Well, we'll leave the radiation suit on for now, but if I grab... Should I just leave some of this here? Trouble is, unlike last episode, I haven't prepped. I haven't done any prep. I mean, we're probably mostly going to be messing around with concrete today, to be honest with you. And there's tons of that over in the desert. Because I basically need to build another elevated factory. Yeah, we'll leave all of that there, I think, for when... Oh, it must have made one. Or two, or whatever it makes. Can I see them? Oh, here we go. Oh, yeah. Okay. Big radiations. Well, they have to get pretty close to them. Yeah, the meter's shot up. Got way up. In fact, if I'm that close to them... Oh no, it's ticking down relatively slowly. Okay. Right. That started pumping, which suggests this is... Ah, we've already got a waste output. Okay. Oh, okay. So basically it converts one of these into a whole bunch of them. Okay. So is this... Oh, it's just a continuous production one then. I was thinking this might be one of the ones that, you know, had a variable... It adjusted its output to your demand. But it isn't. It's just slammed straight into 2,500. But you notice the jump there, and that's one of them. And we can do 4. We can, you know, there's enough stuff to do 4. So would it make sense, given this is not how it wants to be, would it make sense to just disconnect it here, I think? And then at least the radiation is a bit more contained. So if I take this bit of... which bit? That bit of belt out. then it'll back up a bit on the belt and that'll be a bit of a radiation hazard. But at least this bit won't be crammed full of radioactive stuff. And we'll only burn a little bit then. Because I didn't know it was going to produce so much waste. 10 a minute. And it only uses 0.2 a minute. So it'll take 5 minutes to burn 1. Which then means, you know, it's 50. Which is quite a lot. I didn't know it pumped it out that quickly. But it's good to know, good to know. Right, so let's go and get the truck, and we'll drive over to the desert, and we'll start working on the steel foundry. But I'll call that a success. I think that was good, and it's sort of ready to go. I mean, this Caterium and sulfur stuff is probably going to be the a thing to solve really before we turn it back on, or at least have an approach. Whoops! I was going to check if there's anything in this. There's a bit of concrete in it. Okay. Because can I move this? Because isn't this? Oh, okay. I was not expecting bombs. Where was the one that had coal in it? Oh, well, I suppose that's just that one there, is it? That's just coal there. Okay. Wasn't there another one that I put down somewhere? Okay, never mind. Right. Let's head over to the desert. Whoops. They're fine. They got like 1 million hit points. Those things. And you don't do any damage hitting things with vehicles anyway. But yeah, I'm expecting that up there to become the Caterium factory. I did like the military factory that I made, but it's been running for so long that I've got like infinity of everything, give or take. Oh, the physics. Cool. That was simpler than I thought it was going to be, actually. I think this is quite a good spot for it, because it's... it really is pretty much self-contained. You know, for doing the thing. I mean, obviously, the sulphur's a bit far away, and the Caterium, you know, needs processing before it arrives, but yeah, it's sort of self-sustaining. I don't think it uses coal now, so we can take all of the coal out of there. Because we'll get rid of the coal plants altogether. Because it's a rubbish way of doing it. And I'll keep some of the fuel and stuff, partly because I need to make fuel anyway. Although I believe there's some kind of super fuel or something. I don't know how you make that at all. But we'll keep fuel and burn some of that. You know, as another source, but mainly to have a way of using up, like to manage, like plastic and rubber consumption. I think I need to set some system up where I can control it a bit better, because I won't be surprised actually if we're doing this and the power fails, because it's been ages since I really sort of adjusted anything back at the main factory, and there's a very good chance that, well, I know the rubber is just completely crammed, it's not making any more rubber, so therefore that source of fuel is gone. But I also don't know that plastic is really being used very much. Whoops. Dear me. The old autosave is definitely getting crunchy. Suspect I'm going to need to get a server if I want to do multiplayer stuff. In fact, as I understand it, running the game on a server, and this is another thing that makes me wonder if this game was intended to be multiplayer from the beginning. Like, as in, that's the primary mode they were expecting. And then they were just like, well, it can also, you know, might as well do it single player as well. And then that's how most people actually play it. But it runs better on a server, is my understanding. Like significantly, not just a little bit. It like runs way better if you have it on a remote server. You do, I mean, you can do multiplayer with your local server, but given I can barely run this game at the moment without a lot of stuttering and pausing and stuff, but then I think that's actually, even an amazing machine doesn't run this too well, or at least has the same issues, because it's not optimised. It wouldn't, you know, early access game wouldn't need to be. I mean, what the heck is that blob over in the distance there? I'm pretty sure that's a tree. There you go, it's a tree. But that's not a very long draw distance. So right, yes. So, well, I guess we could go and have a look. I mean, we could put the steel foundry like next to it. I'm just a bit worried about the train side of things, because I don't really have a very good feel in this game for how much space I kind of actually need to do the trains. So you see, we could put it here, but then it's actually quite close to the other one. Stop rolling down the hill. In fact, let's just get out. Oh, I can put that on. Because this is the iron and copper foundry. Some of those windows aren't aligned properly, are they? Or is that just a draw distance thing? Looks like some of them are not properly aligned. Have to bear that in mind then. So it could be that here, and it's quite a good spot, because then there's quite a bit of resources that I can just, you know, go straight up with. You know, we're close to the key bits. But say if we put it over there, so over in this direction, there's less to worry about in terms of like clearance. Well, I say if I build it too close to this, I'm just going to cause myself some problems. So if I go over here and give sort of maximum space, then we're talking about hitting the rocks. Another option is to like build it either above this lake, but some of those trees are actually pretty tall, or sort of build it in this area, you know, in this sort of water. But then there's a risk that if it's too big, it won't let you go outside the map, you see. Or we could build it here. And that would give us direct access to some of the coal, wouldn't it? And I seem to recall there's a couple of good Caterium nodes down there. So is that the answer? Do I build it in this here? And we can actually have it sort of close to this water surface then. So I wouldn't have to go way up high. And we could just have something funky with the trains coming down. Because this is like a valley. So the trains could just follow the terrain coming down. I quite like that idea. So it gives it access to the coal more directly. Although obviously there's coal over here. So it's not that much different. Always feels a little bit like cheating building over the water though. I'm not really sure. I suppose it's got the bauxite, hasn't it? So maybe that's what we should be mining up. Because we're going to need like some kind of aluminium production. So I think the two options are over there. Because it'd be quite cool to have the trains going, you know, almost like a mainline system. So the trains come over here. We use the valley as the main thoroughfare. But then I could have a split there, couldn't I? That'd be quite cool. You know, like well, it wouldn't be a T-junction, but some sort of junction there. And they go down into this valley. Could maybe end up with aluminium there. So we could have a steel factory there, aluminium there, maybe? Yeah, okay. I think I like that idea. It wasn't where I was thinking of doing it, but yeah, I like that idea. So what we need to do is we need absolutely loads and loads of concrete. So if we head over to the actual other foundry, and I'll dump off. You're not going to let me go up that hill, are you? Yeah. I'll dump a load of stuff into those chests there. I mean, I could always build some other factory over there. Gonna need a few. I mean, maybe that ends up being the, you know, the frame materials or something like that. Because this, I mean, although I'm calling it a steel foundry, it's going to have steel beams. I mean, that's actually what it's going to be. I don't think I need steel, you know, whatever it calls them, steel ingots. I don't think I need them for anything as such. So if I put that in there, so I know to keep that. We are going to have to run power over to it though, aren't we? Okay. Right, so put the computers in there. I guess I could put like the RCUs and those lads in there. For some reason I've got one AI limiter. And I've still got... Should have dropped this off at the other place really, shouldn't I? And then a bit of that. Have we got any screws? I have got screws. And we'll probably find I need to come back for this, but I'm just going to try and max my inventory with... I'll leave this concrete here because this does still need expanding. The others will just be full because these are all concrete. The ones in there. Obviously, if the chest is full, we'll just leave it. Yeah, see that's full. Is that full? No. Why did you do that? That's fine. Rubber. Caterium. Oh, that's full. Okay. That's more caterium. I mean, the other option was just to work on this, but it's just the grind, basically. It's the adding on more of everything, basically. And I'm not sure that's... It's good for me if... Oh, there's more cable in there. If I'm not... In fact, why have I even got that? Let's just bin them. Oh, I didn't put the wire away. Where's the wire? There's the wire. Rods, there was no... So the other bits... What did I just throw away? If not that. Right, yes, so let's go to the other things. I'd be interested to see. Oh, look at that. I wonder what's going on there. Maybe that's... Why would it be doing that? That's interesting. Maybe that's the water running out because it's not really got the water. Maybe that's what's going on there. But why would it be? Yeah, it's got to be the water because there wouldn't be any mechanism where the uranium just, you know, the waste decays or anything like that. That would be weird. And also, whoa! Okay. 180 no scope there. Ooh. Oh dear. Wasn't there a second? No, that's not a second one here. There's three of these, so there's like, you know, more concrete than we can carry basically, but that's not a bad thing. It's just from experience I know, you know, we need an awful lot of concrete. It stacks to 500, but it uses, is it 10 each time or 8 or something random? But it's, you know, 500 is only like 125 bits of concrete or something. You know, concrete slabs. Pure, well, pure, you know, pure concrete. The other thing I do need to do is put down radar towers, because it looks like they're going to be way more useful. The previous version of them, it just unveils the map, which seems to be useful for the higher up areas, because for some reason it doesn't reveal those if you've you know, already been there. Oh, already been there. You know, properly. In fact, let's put the concrete in there so we know it's... In fact, let's pick all of these up. Me. Oh no, that is me. Sorry. Got that the wrong way around. Yeah, so these are my bits and that's there. Okay. There we go. That's better. Let's put concrete in there. Yeah. Okay. So it's now full of concrete. We've got sort of half a row or something? A row? Half a row? Did I empty both of those? Yeah. So we go to the third one, and then we'll fall. And you know, say if we're going to have like a little aluminium factory, we're going to need concrete for that. And if we're going to need a deuterium smeltery, you know, repurposing the other one, we're going to need concrete for that. If we're going to need a concrete factory, we're going to need concrete for that. So, oh, going the wrong way. So yeah, we're not going to be you know, we're not going to run out of uses for this concrete. Apparently it's the most, like, how to put it, used substance on Earth. It's like, if you actually look at what we built, as, you know, humanity, it's basically 90% concrete. And this is already full. Yeah. Cool. Now, as it happens, I can't build any chests, I don't think, because I've not got the bits and pieces, but... So we'll worry about that when we come to it. Now, can I... No, I can't, can I? Go this way. I had a bit of a weird day today. Sort of disappeared. Even quicker than like a weekend day. Because, oops. Wrong key. Because, work gave us the day off. Because they took us out for a fancy dinner yesterday. The company's 20 years old. We wanted to celebrate that, and the idea was to let everybody have a drink if they wanted to drink. I'm going completely the wrong way, aren't I? Am I going to be able to fit the truck through here? Oh, hello. Diablo. Hello again. Hello, Diablo Tune. I am what's known as a grant writer. So that confuses most people because they're not familiar with what grants are and stuff. Or they're familiar with grants, but don't quite understand what a grant writer does. And it's basically when companies apply for research grants, we help them write the grants, basically. So to apply for a research grant, you have to fill out a form or a portal or send in some documentation or all those sorts of things. And they usually ask tricky questions about what your business plan is and all this sort of stuff. So I want to be down there, but I go. Oh, I'm too far over. I need to be around here, don't I? That's what I've done wrong. I say what I do is basically write those grant applications for them. So it's a lot of, yeah, you're going to be a pain, aren't you, with the physics? In reality, I'm actually a grant manager as well. Well, effectively, it's like you have bid managers as well, which is more commercial stuff. So you know, when companies are competing for contracts, they'll write a bid response. There we go. To invitation to tender or expression of interest, that sort of thing. Oh, there's a slug there. Can't pick it up because I've got no room in the inventory, but that's interesting. Here we go. This is where I'm planning to be. Because we can run the train line down here, you see. Oh yeah, but so it's usually stratified into sort of grant writers, bid writers and bid managers. That's the usual sort of division. I've got no ammo, have I? Oh, missed. Let's do... Can I do a swapsy, or is it going to be a bit weird? Oh, it can. Okay. Because I'm going to have to get rid of some of the natives, I think. Yeah, but the companies apply for, you know, grants, and I basically write the applications for them.
I strongly advise you to harvest this specimen.
Come on.
Harvest.
I can't harvest it, can I? I haven't got the inventory room. This is going to be annoying instead. Yes, so I'm thinking now, this wasn't what I was going to do, but we might as well go with the new plan. But basically, if I build out like a platform here, and we'll build the steel factory on that, I think. Steel foundry on that. It's not all my company does. It's a bit of a multi-pronged.
Breaking news.
Yes, yes, yes.
Widespread chaos and mayhem.
Multi-pronged
urges all citizens to do their part
business.
And harvest alien artifacts.
They also handle research tax credits, which something you can get in the UK, where you essentially apply for, whoops, tax relief for research that you've done. Should I elevate it anyway? I mean, the trains aren't going to be ground level anyway, so it might be worth, I say, elevating it. I think. Not too high, though. Might be a bit of a pain if I keep falling in the water, though. Safer than falling in the... I don't think there is a full damage sort of limit. But yeah, we'll build a bit of a platform then. Where would the... I mean, if the trains are coming this way, then this is probably like the entry point. Well, probably this. So if I try and build it evenly... Because I fancy giving different sort of ways of doing the trains a go. Mostly try and learn them a bit. So I don't know if I sort of managed to sort of ramble and not really explain that, but I say basically I write grant applications. But the company does, I say, research tax credits. And they'll also manage the grant claims. So when the companies do the actual research and they want to claim this grant money that they've been awarded, they have to put in a financial claim. So the company manages those, because it's all a load of... I mean, it's government, basically. Everything people say about governments being all about, you know, form filling and box ticking certainly is in the UK. So I'll do maybe another 2 here. And then 2 here. I'm trying to keep it even, as I say. I mean, there's loads of room, isn't there? We could definitely fit a... Because that's the swamp over there, I think. But yeah, so the slight sort of irony to it. I probably shouldn't say this. There might be one of them watching, or I might catch the stream later or something. Find out on me. But I'm a bit fed up with... Well, there's a problem in this industry, to be frank, with effectively con artists. In that 7, so it's got 7 on that side. So we had 3 more. Oh no, well we got 3. So if that's 8, this is the middle one then. Would that make sense? That's not bad, is it? So then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I mean they're not con artists, but they're companies that say, oh yeah, we'll get you a grant, you know, when the odds of getting grants are actually pretty slim. Because it's highly competitive, obviously, because, let's be frank, it's free money from the government, and who's not going to want free money from the government? You know, it's what a lot of people think is wrong with governments. But yeah, so companies are always very keen to get some free money. I mean, it's match funding. It's not just completely free. You know, they have to cough up some money themselves, part of it. But it's like, you know, for every £1 that you spend, the government gives you £1. It's that sort of a thing. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Lost count. Let's do that again. So this is the first one here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So that's 9. 10. But yeah, a lot of companies in this sort of arena, a lot of companies that do this sort of work, they overpromise what they can do. They're not realistic about it, and it literally they'll sell it to anyone. So they'll, you know, essentially say they can get a grant for anything that someone wants to do, when in reality, you know, that may not, the type of work they want to do may not even be eligible for funding, and yet they'll charge, you know, they'll write them a grant application that therefore stands no hope of winning. So it's not technically a con, but it's, you know, it's the equivalent of It's that thing where confidence tricksters, one of the things they essentially, one of the reasons they can con people is because people are greedy in a sense. So this is 30 across, okay. And one of the things I really liked about this company when I joined it was that they pre-assessed applications, because they take a win fee. So there is a charge, but the charge is like only barely covers cost, or at least that's what they say. In reality, it is quite profitable, but they only really make money if the company wins. So why would they bother taking on, grant rights where they don't stand a chance of winning? But unfortunately, this 20th anniversary kind of marks the point where the original company founders are stepping away. They're not going to be working. Oh, I can't remember how many I need for a train station. I've not actually used that much, have I? Okay. Oh, how many was it? Because they're quite big. I mean, we need the under level anyway. I think. Unless I do it differently again and actually... Because there's not actually going to be resources coming into this in the same way that there is in the other foundry. Or is there? Oops. I mean, if I've got... coal here... Because if it is just steel and it's steel pipes... red tape. Residing in the UK, taxpayers' money is misused. Or you could say that about every country on the earth. I don't think... Don't think there's any government that doesn't, in a sense, waste money. But yeah, so the company I'm working for, it's been it's more honest in the sense that they're companies that do have something that's worth funding. I say that's what I've liked about it. Pretty sure it was 3. I could just snip back, but it's a bit of a way. Can I build any power bars? Wire. So I would need wire, and I haven't got any of that in here, have I? Could I build some boxes and just stick this concrete in away for a second? No, so I'm sort of exaggerating in some ways. They do. The companies that aren't quite as honest. No, I can't. They'll generally charge upfront fees, and that's all they charge. They don't charge, win fees because, as I say, they know they're not going to win. So a lot of companies, they do some form of assessment, because otherwise, say, they won't get their success fee. What do you think about Joe got off too easy? I'm not really intending this to be political, type streaming. It's very much about the games, and I don't like to, how to put it, I don't think, I mean, we're playing a game about building a factory on an alien world. Politics is sort of irrelevant to it all. It's not part of the types of games I stream. But as a general thing, I'm left to centre, shall we say? I'm a bit more well, left of centre of the UK as well, which is probably effectively a communist in America, a bit right wing in America, from what I can tell. Their politics, their sort of Democrats are basically like the Conservatives, and yet they're meant to be the left party. But so I'm not a fan fundamentally of the Conservative Party. But even my point basically is, even setting that aside, I think he's an awful person, just fundamentally. I mean, how many? Well, there's the whole thing. How many children does he actually have? He's had so many effects. I mean, and I'm not saying this in a moralizing way in a sense, but surely you want your your person in charge, your prime minister, to have a bit more moral fibre. To not go chasing anything in a skirt. It's sort of. I just don't think he's a very nice person fundamentally. As I say, setting aside the whole. That's probably coloured by my politics, but I think even setting that aside, I mean, just the way they behaved in that, in the lockdown, as you say, getting off too easy, is the least of it. It's just that they, even thinking that was. I mean, how many? It was 146 fines, I think it was. And one of the key things of leadership, what leadership is really kind of about, is setting the tone. Setting the direction and setting the tone. So that's all happened because he was in charge, and he set that tone of, the rules don't apply to us type of thing. They apply to everybody else. And I say, I think he's an awful person, fundamentally. So that's a bit extreme. But I say, and it's not, if you're more centre or right wing or whatever, it's not something I'm proposing to discuss on the streams because they're not really about that. But yeah, I just him as an individual, it's atrocious. I mean, setting aside general disagreement on policy. There's been loads of articles written about him. He's basically a narcissist. He's completely in love with himself. So what we need to do basically is, I should have brought some. Was it iron plate I need for these? Yeah, iron plate. Should have brought some iron plate over. And if we can get some wire, then we can get some power down here as well. Because I've nowhere to put. How far is it? Because it's quicker going that way, I think. I took a terrible route. I think you can. Because there's cleared paths basically through this. Not roads as such, but cleared paths. So, if we head back over there, because what I need to be able to do, because I know how many steel things I need to make. 100 odd, yes. It was. But yeah, he only got one, I think, didn't he? But even fundamentally, if it's that flagrant a breach that the police are issuing you a fine, then you've clearly done something wrong. Whether it's once or 10 times sort of thing. And all right, you might say, oh well, it was oh, it's only a few drinks or whatever, but to me, it's setting the tone thing. Where the heck is this path that I think is here? And if your general attitude is, well, we'll set these rules, but they don't apply to me, then is that a good person to be leading, really? And I think all, let's be frank, a lot of politicians are like that. But to be so flagrant about it. It's quite dark over here. I don't know why. Got the lights on. He should just resign. Yeah, I say this is the problem, you see. He's the sort of person who wouldn't. That's exactly exactly the sort of thing he wouldn't do. But yeah, I mean, if he had any kind of moral fibre, then he would resign. But to say that's like the issue. It's like the problem of, you know, who do you want to be in charge? Probably the person who most wants to be in charge. But who do you not want to be in charge? Person who only wants to be there because he wants to be in charge. You know, he doesn't really have a kind of clear plan for making people's lives better. He just wants to be in charge because he wants to be in charge. So what would you need to enable the map? You mean in this game? At the moment, and they are about to change this, update 6 is going to change it, but it's in the quartz research tree. It's not actually not the research tree. It's the MAM. I don't know if you've built a MAM, and I can't remember what it stands for. It's like the secondary. There's like 3 research trees in this game. Is that right? Yeah, because there's the elevator, the actual research, and the MAM. And the MAM. Let's see if I can build one. So it's under special. So this here, the molecular analysis machine. If you build one of them, that'll give you access to a whole bunch of extra research. Research if you haven't built it already. And in the quartz tree, in fact, could I just build one and show you? I could. What do I need for it? So I need plate copper. In fact, I need copper anyway, don't I? I need that. Don't know that I need that much, but I need... Where is it? No. No. Oh, I needed rods for power poles, don't I? And the other things. I might as well grab them. Where the heck am I? Oh, they're there. So if I build a MAM quickly. No, haven't got any cables. Need cables anyway to power poles. Oh, I don't need wire, do I? Oh, whatever. We're not that far away. But yeah, if you build the MAM, M-A-M, then in the quartz tree, now where is it? So, scannable resource, silica, crystal, signal. I think it's that one. I think signal technology. No, there you go. Frequency mapping. So that element in the research tree in the MAM, quartz, all the way down at frequency mapping, that unlocks the map. However, they are about to change that. Update 6, I think it's either going to become literally the first sort of proper research you do. It's going to be part of that. Or it'll just literally unlock once you've done the first research, as I understand it. But yeah, you have to go all the way down to frequency mapping. And it's a bit of a pain to get there. I couldn't unlock the map. In fact, I think when the game first came in, I'm not sure this MAM was even in the game, and you had the map straight away, and I had to work out where the heck it was. So what do I need to build? I need to build some power poles, so that's fine. I need to use cable to build between them. I need a bunch of boxes. I also need to be able to build the actual foundries. Okay, so I need frames and rotors. Okay. In fact, I need to put some of this concrete away if I need to do that. Let's build a bit of space. Oh, get a bit of space right there. I think rotors are in one of the front ones. These guys. A couple of them. And then frames. Frames were down here somewhere? No? There we go. Let's build frames. So that lets me build a couple of foundries to work out how big they are. Excuse me. I also then am going to need to build some constructors, which I've got the plates for. Yes, yeah, go. But yeah, so they're literally about to change that in update 6, and update 6 is coming in like 4 weeks or something, 3 weeks. So even if you don't kind of get that far in the tree, you'll get it pretty soon anyway. It was always, I found it a bizarre decision. I mean, I didn't mind it being locked behind a research. I mean, you know, fine. But putting it so far down in the quartz tree. Because some of the things you need to... It's not like you can just plough through that. Well, first of all, quartz is a bit difficult to find. It's not the most common node. And it's hidden... Some of it's hidden in some really nasty caves. So it's not easy to get to. I mean, there's nodes, you know, hanging around, but... the crystal oscillators are actually quite difficult to build and take a bit of research to get to anyway. But yes, anyone... I should just know, I'm guessing anyone's flicked away is not of my political bent, but I say this isn't meant to be a... You know, it's about playing the games, really. It's not really... Oh, no, I'm not going to be able to get up there. A political discussion thing, but say, sometimes it's going to sort of seep in. Went the wrong way. Are we going to get up there, or are you going to go weird? Okay. I say, you know, your politics are your own, so... I'm lost. So it's straight on if I can do that. I should be going around that bit. Say it's weirdly dark over here. I don't know if that's some... I've just gotten used to the lights being on, but... Seems very dark. Down here? There we go. Are you playing at the moment? Yeah, Platoon? Or are you... Okay, so let's build a few boxes first, just to give me a bit of inventory messing about room. I didn't grab any computers, did I? What an idiot. Don't think I could manufacture them either. This is why I need to prep, basically. The last episode went really well. When I'd already grabbed all the bits I needed. In fact, let's just keep them. I need the computers, basically, because I want to build a train, essentially. And in order to build a train, I guess I could just leave it there. We could just see if it fits. You know, build it up and see if it fits, type of thing. But so I can't build one without computers or heavy modular frames. So if that, you see, there you go. Train station is really big. And if I'm going to have it as like the bottom level. So, what I could do, I mean, there's enough room here. If I did want to have one level underneath, sorting things out, I could do that. You know, in fact, I could have like 2. In fact, I could probably get 3 in. No, 2. So if I wanted to have, you know, sorters underneath, say bring this coal in from over here, and iron. Then I have a bit of room to do that, but I think I probably, yeah, in fact I probably will end up doing that. But yeah, there's room for that there. So if we take this as the level that the trains are at, then we need to go up a bit. Later will be, and maybe try out Scum. Scum's the survival game? Is that the one? Or is that something? Am I wrong about that? I think there's one survival game where you're effectively a convict and you're sort of left on a planet, and I think that's called Scum. But I might be wrong about that. What am I looking for? I'm looking for train station there. So the train station was here. At this level. I think it would fit underneath. This is why I want to build it. It's difficult to get it to... It's difficult to tell the perspective, basically. So I think if the train station was here, it would fit underneath. Okay. Worst case is say I can drop the level, drop the floor one, and still have another, another floor tile in order to be able to put in the, underground sorters. But there's a lot less coming in here. I'm only intending this to be iron ore comes in, coal comes in, and steel goes out. Well, no. Actually, I need steel beams and steel pipes. So it's 4 stations. But that's fine. It should all fit underneath in a single level. As long as I lay it out properly. So, if we were to say this is the level at which our train station stops, let's see if we can tell it fits underneath. Come on. I mean, it will clip through, but I don't want it to clip through. But you see, you can't really see. Maybe if I just whack the jetpack on. Oh, should have done that. So if I sort of blast up. Yeah, that fits underneath, doesn't it? Cool, okay. We then need 1 layer of... Whoops. Yeah. Oh, and I've angered something as well. There's obviously something living in that bush over there. Right. Yes, we need some walls. Try to stop that happening. But if I put that in... Is that... Yeah, so that's the edge. Right, okay. Well, the edge for the time being, anyway. Right, so I've got the walls in. Try and avoid too many unnecessary deaths. Then we've got one level here. That. And that's the sort of turnaround platform. So that there. This level is where we'll be hiding, what do you call it, sorters. So this is sort of a hidden level. I may not make it hidden. I may actually put. Can I build one? I can. So essentially, the trains will unload, and there'll be a thing at the end that where they, all the stuff goes. It'll go underground, under the floor, basically, and it'll go along to an end bit where it all turns around and then comes back this way, and load of mergers and sorters, and gets smelted. So the actual foundry, the actual foundering steel production, will be on this level. So if we do a bit of that, and I can work out, try to how big it needs to be. Might be a little tricky. Oh, way off. Thought we were near the end there. That's great. I jumped on last night for the first 3 minutes. Good thing you're not required to have support moves. Yeah, I mean they're entirely cosmetic in this. It's not like Valheim where you have to actually support your beams. I mean, it's a bit of a strange. I mean, not entirely. Oh, that was a good build. Okay. They're not entirely cosmetic in that. Well, the beams are, I suppose, but you know, you need to be able to walk up and down, and in order to build things at height, you know, you can only anchor the very first thing on solid ground. So in order to build the floating platform, you have to have a solid base. But yeah, this is stupid. I will be putting beams and stuff on the, you know, support beams and stuff on the corners, or legs anyway, to make it look a bit more realistic. Because you can build them into the water, but it's cosmetic. You know, it really isn't needed at all. Okay, so if we were doing this as similar to my other factory, because I quite like that layout, then we would have, this is like the walkway bits here. This is where I walk around. And then ideally we need to fit the foundry in this space here. Now, how big is it in terms of production foundry? How does it fit into this space? So it's not, because these concrete ones are really cool because these squares are like the dead center, so it's really good for work, like lining things up basically. So if I put that there, basically, we know that the corner, because I think you were saying about organising things, this is basically what I've learnt to do. But we put the corner there, you see, and we know that then is like a place we can recognise, if you see what I mean. And so it pokes out, because one of the things with these is the models don't fill the box by quite a way. So the corner, you know, I place this here in this exact corner, and it pokes out of the thing here. Oh, I didn't place it perfectly. Which, hey? So he says he's placed it perfectly, and he actually hasn't placed it perfectly at all. What did I do wrong there then? Oh no, it does poke out. There we go. Yeah, so the legs poke out past the end of the model. And here, it doesn't look like it's anywhere near this, but the box does fit there. So it's one of the tricky things I find with this. Oh, look, it's doing a weird flickering of the texture there. Right. So if we had 2, 3, 4, 5, where does that end up? So it's not actually on the corner again, but that is, isn't it? Is that right? So that one, yeah, so that's a perfectly matched in that square. And is it 4? It's 4, isn't it? Okay. And that is the first, like, repeat, as it were. So that's a repeating pattern. That's quite cool, then. Because I want to get it... What I'm going to do, I'm going to do the same thing I did in the other factory, which is basically then there'll be... Now, I think it might not leave an exact gap of a foundry unit. Because what I've been doing in the other factory is like leaving a machine's worth of space. But they're quite big. Quite chunky boys. So I might instead... Because what I do then, basically, to make it look pretty, and then essentially embedding these walkways. Which one am I doing? It's the catwalk, I think. Like in the floor. Because you obviously have these, you know, on the edge and stuff. But if you embed it in the floor, it looks like a safety railing. I think it does anyway. You're going to sit there? It's a bit weird how it does and doesn't let you do it, and what it clips to. Because we can have it there. I mean, there wouldn't actually be walkway there, but it's more, it would be where this gap is. So this T-junction. Yeah, I say, if it's a game I'm thinking of, it is pretty brutal. It's like sort of Project Z, but sort of even harsher. It's the one thing I've never really quite got on with in survival games is... You see, why does that look like it's not... Oh, it's because it's the wrong way around. There we go. So if I put this here, it's the fact that essentially the more time you've been on the server, the more time you've been playing, the more equipped you are to play, if you see what I mean. So you sort of... Anyone new coming in it just gets wrecked instantly, and it's sort of a bit harsh for me. But then I'm not that big. I know a lot of people love like roguelike games. I'm not actually that big a fan. Yes, if this was the middle row here, because I'm not actually that... The sort of notion of spending hours and hours and hours playing something. I know a lot of roguelikes, the loop is shorter, but... and then, bang, it's all gone in an instant. Isn't fun for me. I understand it is for a lot of people, but yeah, that sort of loop of dying and starting again. But then it's a big thing. I never really got on with platformers, partly for that reason. Because, you know, the idea of kind of restarting. I'm thinking about doing these different, so I've turned these round. So, you know, they both feed into the, because on the other one, they're like exactly the same. And this would be, they would come in to the center. So I'm trying to switch it up in that way. So effectively, you know, a bit like how I do Factorio things where, you know, the resources come in here, out here, in here, and out here. Whereas in the other foundry, it's always in here, out here. So it'll be the other way around. So I'm going to try and mix it up a little bit. But if it's four each, 4 as a repeating unit, that may not be very good. We might have to do 5. If it was 5, how bad would it be in terms of this? Because I need that exactly. I need 125 basically. Okay, so if it was, that'd be okay there. And if I put an actual, you won't let me do that, will you? So take that one out. Where would the... Oh, that's not too bad. It's a shame it doesn't repeat on the square. I guess it's on the edge, is it? Okay, yeah, that's not too bad. And then there's plenty of room here for the sort of pretend walkway. Because say I need exactly 125. So if it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, then it becomes 50 per thing, 100, and then a half one. That's not very good, is it? If I did lots of 10, sorry, lots of 4. So we could go 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120. Wow, that would be wide. 120, and I'd need another 5 as well. That's not very good. So how wide is this? So if this was the walking pathway here. In fact, let's just colour it in. If I can. What colour do I want to do for steel? Oh, let's just use sort of purple, just so I can identify it more than anything. So this would be the walkway. I don't need these to be so wide. No, let's go with a walkway again then. Like that. And then this would be the walkway on this side. 4, 8, 12, 16. I mean, we could go 24. So what that would mean 48. Oh no, maths. 48, 96. Wow, that'd be way over producing it. What about the other option? Why don't we go 60? Oh, that'd be enormous then, wouldn't it? The other option is to go overclocking. We could do this factory as overclock, particularly since they're gonna actually it occurs to me, could we make this a combined steel and aluminium? Because that's the swamp over there, basically. They're actually changing that as well, so I don't want to go and build in there anyway. But we could have a train that just nips around the corner here instead of building an aluminium factory. But then if I do one of that, I could do a properly different design. I guess the other question is, how close are we going to end up being to the edge of the world? Oh no, we should be alright there. It's all the way up here that we can build. So, if we went with 24, 48, because then it's 2 less per row. So it'd be a massive overproduction. Because if this was 40, 80, 120... I mean, I could overclock them a tiny bit, but then I'd have to put a blooming... Oops, wrong one. I'd have to put a... whatchamacallit in every single machine. Or I could underclock them. Because if we ended up with 4 rows... 3 rows, rather. Then at the moment, with 25... well, with 50, it's 150, which is a massive overproduction. What would we need to... we'd need to knock off 25 across 3, which is probably best. It's about 8, 16, 24. So 8 off per side, so it's 4 off per thing. So it'd be 21 machines. Or I could maybe overclock one. I could overclock like the first one in each row. Or first one in each row to be 200, which is effectively the last one in each row. Or the first set, as it were, maybe. Maybe the first set is overclocked. And then we could have 20, and I would just need to effectively get 5 machines of extra via overclocking. Yeah, that'll work. Now 20 is divisible by 4 and 5. So I could go with either option. Laying them down, it's actually easier to do 5 and a gap. I put that one the wrong way around, haven't I? Is it even going to work this is the other thing that's just not occurred to me. Or only just occurred to me. I'm going to need 2 rows of material coming in, aren't I? Because I've got to feed them both iron and coal. So maybe I don't line it up with the square. Maybe I move it in a bit to give me a bit more room. But then if it's only 20 and I do blocks of 4. So if it's 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, that's still 5 blocks. They are bigger machines though, so I've got a bit more room to play with. And I don't mind, I say, the reason this is hidden, the floor underneath, is because I don't mind clipping it. So if this was a bit more central, like that, that could work, because then we would have the conveyor hole there. Is that too? I think that's too close, isn't it? Yeah, it's too close. So where would the conveyor hole need to be? So if this was there... So the conveyor hole would need to be there. And if I'm then trying to do... Oops. This... Oh, that's not too bad. That's not... It's clipping through a little bit, technically, but almost imperceptibly. I quite like that, actually. So if this then was lined up... Whoops. Misclick. If this was lined up on the edge of the concrete... Get it the right way around first. I got the whole... Oh, that's a point, because they're then... These are offset. So could we put both of them? Could we just get rid of this altogether? Because these are offset, if you see what I mean. You know, the 2 machines could literally go next to each other. But then comes the question of what happens underneath. Let's see if we can go down there without dying. I haven't got any concrete underneath it though, have I? Let's see. Okay, let's build a bit across there. I should have my jetpack on anyway. So I can survive falling in the water, but not the beach. So question. Oops. That's too big. Question. Is if this is here and we've got then I could have them both one side, couldn't I? Because I can turn the so what I'm thinking is I then have conveyor lifts coming out and pointing in, say, that direction. Both in the same direction. No. Because what you can do, you put the mergers then, you see, on there. But that's not going to work at all, is it? Because they're not connected. And there's no way for me to even sort of check it properly. I mean, I guess I could do something. If I just sort of put... Oh, I've got them the wrong way around anyway. Merger. Wait. What? So if we put a thing there. I can never remember how to drop things by hand. Don't you just sort of put them... Oh, well that's not on the belt then, is it? Okay. Okay, if you're gonna be like that, I'll put a proper chest in and everything. Okay, right, so if I put iron plates in here, they come out of here. In fact, let's whack the belt up. So it's a bit quicker. So iron plates come in there. Have they made it all the way through? No. So these are not connected, these mergers. And I couldn't see how I would get them connected. There's spaghetti and then there's spaghetti. What I could do, you see, I think this would be okay. Whoops. I want to take concrete support now. What should be okay is if this is a... Oops. Merger... Oh, I've just reassigned the sign, haven't I? How did I manage to do that? So, I want logistics. What have I got there? Is that a splitter or a merger? That must be a merger. So 7's a splitter, 8's a merger, yeah. So if this was a merger... Going the other way, please. Oh no, well... If I have the merger... In fact, I don't need the merger then, because that's the fake one, isn't it? So if that's a lift like that, I mean, I could just have them because these are big, chunky boys, so I can just have a belt going straight along. I think because it's not going to fill a belt. The other option is I could have like a whole set of mergers. That'd be a bit pain. Oh, crikey. Oh, you subscribed. Crikey. Thank you very much for the subscription. That's very kind. Oops. Yes, thank you very much for the subscription. Unfortunately, I have not yet set up like proper emotes. They're all sort of default, you know, emotes that it almost just has as a placeholder. I'm going to do... I mean, you may never only want to use them. I know I don't think I've ever used any of the custom emotes I've had from subscriptions, but I'm just going to do it because on my thumbnails on the YouTube channel, I pull a lot of silly faces just because I enjoy doing it. It's like a really silly thing, and I make some of those into emotes, but it's really difficult to get them to look. I'm thinking about hiring someone to do it, basically. But yeah, I need to come up with what I'm going to do with all that sort of stuff. So I'm afraid there's not a great deal for you to use for the subscription, other than to say the sort of default ones. But thank you very much for the subscription. That's very much appreciated. You're a bit of a select club because there's only... Well, I think someone gifted a bunch of subs, and that's basically it. So I think it's you and a couple of others. I think, was it you that also mentioned about doing Diablotian multiplayer for this? Because I've been kind of experimenting. Because see what you can do, you'd stick these on the end and this automatically feeds it in. I think they look really cool as well. It sort of clips out in a sort of okay way. So we can have one. What I could do is like at the moment it'd be a bit naff because the misalignment of them means I couldn't feed them in on both sides. You know, we can't have a one there and then this automatic feeds in. I would have to do like either a belt kink or something. So we'd have to have like a belt going that way. Which is say this is why it's sort of a hidden flaw, because then, you know, oops, I can do horrible spaghetti things. And then, yeah, see, it's not even in the right angle. Yeah, it won't even let me do it. So probably better to have them like going in a line, basically. So this one here. And then the next machine is here. And obviously this first one, it doesn't need a merger. But we should... In fact, could we test that? If we put... Oh, crikey, I can't work out what the position is. It's sort of just on the purple, isn't it? Yeah. So if it was here somewhere, say, don't know where it would be, then it would be another one like that. Now we put a merger here. Oh no, it won't let me do that, will it? I could, well, I say that, I could be... You're not going to clip to it at all? Okay. It's become a bit weird what it's fussy about, because since they let us do the soft clipping, it's sort of, some of it doesn't make sense, the things it has a problem with. But whatever. So if that was there, you see, what I was thinking is I could have that feed in like that. And I guess I could do that. That's pretty horrendous, isn't it? Alternately, this was more like that. Because there is quite a bit of space here. You know, these machines are quite big. So we could then have, I say, it is hidden. In fact, they could both point forward. So they could both point this way. So it'd be that one, wouldn't it? No, around there. And then we have the actual merger here. Or wherever. Somewhere there. Will you do that angle? And then that just... Oh, it's not even going to go around. Invalid shape, is it? Invalid shape. You're telling me it's an invalid shape. Oh, and it didn't like that one either. I don't know how much room there would be. So maybe if it was there? That work? No. No. So that one's okay. So if I take that one out and put it there, you going to work with that? Oh, I have put it a bit squiff, haven't I? So it'd actually be there. And then will you go in? You will. Because I need to keep this back one free for the... So this is obviously the first one, but the next one down the line, the actual belt is going to be connecting in there. And yeah, that's okay. I think I probably... Could I tidy that up? Will it let me do... See, it'll probably complain about... Yeah, shapes if I do that, you see. And then it feeds into the next one. So the question then is that viable? Is that too close? You know, where does this actually need to be? To test that, we can pop the machine in. No, I don't think it's going to work, is it? They're not that big. They're big, but not. not that bad. Oh, sorry. Here's the multiplier. Okay. So I guess I'll post something because the reason for asking that was I'm interested in giving it a go. It may well be a case for Satisfactory that I'll need to do. So basically, I can't remember whether you play Factorio or not. I don't. For me, I love all of these games. You know, Satisfactory, Factorio, License for Your Program. You know, all the other stuff thing. But I know other players that, you know, they get a bit annoyed in a sense, or, you know, they like Satisfactory and that's the one they like, sort of thing. Which is, you know, not saying that as a, you know, you do you sort of thing. But yeah, that's not going to work, is it? Or is it? Because that can go. That might actually work. So let's do the other one. So this. But yeah, I gave. I played some multiplayer Factorio, and my machine and internet worked okay. I was a bit worried it would all just melt down because my machine's a really weird hybrid. But it was great. I mean, it wasn't laggy at all or anything. It was vanilla Factorio. So I don't know if that helped. Is this behind or in front? Oh, it's in behind, isn't it? So it's like here. So the next question, basically, is whether I can play Satisfactory. Because obviously I was hosting multiplayer, you know, on my machine. And I have a feeling, given it's a bit crunchy anyway, that I may not be able to host multiplayer. I may have to get a server. But there's no way of me knowing that, really, until I test it. And I have no problem getting a server. It's just, why pay for a server if I can just do it locally, you know? So, it would clip through. Because the other thing I've got to be mindful of is that I don't make it too difficult to build. I mean, we could do something weird, or not weird, but you know, we could feed 3. You know, there are 3 slots on that. Oh no, I need a belt to go through, don't I? I was thinking we could feed 3 of these in, but that wouldn't work. But if it's going to be this messy, it's actually going to be quite difficult to build. Okay, so let's not do that. Let's give it more room. Let's just hop up again. Industrial give it a shot. Cool. I say, yeah, so I need to investigate further anyway with how you do. They did put a video out on it, but you know, how you host sort of thing. Okay, so if this isn't going to work, I mean, what I could do is just, you know, we've got infinite space, so yeah, I'll need to look it up, but I'll put up a post when I've sort of done a bit of research on how I want to see if I can get it to work. I'll give you a shout. It's easy enough to set up. Yeah, I mean, I say, I think I've said this before. I'm sort of wondering whether they sort of designed this game to be, you know, multiplayer anyway, and that almost, you know, single player is almost the afterthought, as it were. You know, rather than a lot of games they add the multiplayer in afterwards, sort of thing. Are you Steam or Epic Games Store? Where have you got the game? Because I've ended up with it on both, so Because I know, obviously, Steam, you know, multiplayer's like easy anyway. I can just invite you to a game, basically. So yeah, if I give myself more room, basically, is what I'm thinking, because I've got 2 inputs here. So I give myself more room here, and then room here as well, because it's, you know, it's going to end up then a big factory, but not sort of stupidly so. So if the gangplank was going down the middle, where would it actually let me clip to? So if this was sort of... So it would like to be on that one. No? You're going to give me options about... There we go. So if the gangplank was there... It's a lot of space, that. Can I get you to be there? Can I get you to go into this bit? Oh. I don't know why it does that, where it won't... Oh! Okay, so it would go in there. Okay. Bit fiddly, but it would go in. Steam. Okay, cool. So PC spec. It's actually on the... If you look on my... what do you call it? About page or whatever it is. It's on there. It's a bit of a weird hybrid. It's... I got 2080 Ti, so... You know, not bad graphics card. But then it's an i7 7700 K, which when I bought it was like the best chip you could get. But that was, what would that have been, a decade ago? Oh no, I lined it. Where did I line that up? No, I lined it up on the edge, didn't I? Not on the thing. I mean, I need to upgrade. I've been sort of, one of my things I've been banging on about, or, you know, jabbering on about anyway. Upgrading the machine, but no, that looks daft, doesn't it? So if this one is on the middle, how does it look? So this would be the hole here. Yeah, I think I never actually finished that thought, did I? The company celebrated its 20th year anniversary. I think I've decided I want to move on. So that's the same, isn't it? It's sort of aligned with the outside. Is that about the same distance? It looks about the same to me. Yeah, okay, that'll work. I don't quite know how I'm going to colour it in, though. Or maybe we could just do the floor differently in this one. Could maybe have this be the FICSIT steel. Maybe this is, you know, coloured pathway in some way. And this isn't colour. You know, I mean the concrete bits. But yeah, it's PC, so it's got absolutely loads of RAM, but it's not, obviously it's not that quick, as it were. You know, by modern standards sort of thing. But so I wanted to upgrade, but I was like, well, I need to move, basically. I need to get away from here, basically, because it's not very nice. And that was going to cost a fortune. So I rent. So I was holding back buying the, you know, upgrading the PC because of that. But then if I've decided I'm going to move on anyway, there's not a lot of point moving and then finding a job elsewhere. Oh. and having to move again. That would be particularly pointless. Okay, I think this could work. And I was going to put 20 in on the side, so that'd be 40, 80, 120, and I'll overclock some of them. Good. I've got the 3090, 3080 and a Ryzen 9 5900. Oh, you're one of the lucky people who managed to get a graphics card, eh? I think they're getting more available now, aren't they? But it was a bit of a drought for a while. But so it's not the graphics card. I mean, I do want, to upgrade over everything basically, because it's well over a decade since I got a new PC, and I like building them. But I could just upgrade, around it. But it's quite a lot of stuff. Obviously, it's the motherboard and the actual CPU and RAM, I guess. And I'd probably put it in a new case. So if, it's almost everything but the graphics card, so why not just get a new graphics card as well? So it's been upgraded about as much as it can be. This machine. So that's 2 rows. So then it's another. Let's get the old. I don't think I'll use this part. It's just easy to identify. Or pink or whatever it is. So that then is a row there. That then is a row there. This would be the next one. So the next question is this wide enough? So if that was there. Yeah, okay. And then this guy here. No, you're not gonna. No. No. Nope. Okay. And then. So this would be the last one, if I can get it the right way around. There. So that's then eventually 40, 80, 120, and overclock a few of them. So it's too narrow. This is it too narrow? I've not fluked into it being basically the right width, have I? Because we want 2 here again. Oh, I have! Oh my word. It's exactly the right size for these. We now need to work out how will it work for the steel plates and steel beams. Steel plates and steel pipes. However, it's 5 o'clock. So it's end of stream time. Let's put this in here though, because I think there will have to be 3 high. Because if I do 2, not walls, foundations, like that. Then it clips through. Yeah. Okay. So it has to be at least 3 high. And then we want. So that's going to be the roof. So that'll work. And the question then is if the building is this size. Well, there's 2 questions. Can I fit the trains in? That's a difficult one to test without grabbing some computers and. Oh, it's not the exact right size then, is it? Or is it? Because I think this is. Oops. Oh no, I put this on just so I could work, didn't I? Yeah. So somehow I flipped out exactly the right size. Yeah, so, because obviously they're made in constructors. Yeah, steel beams and steel pipes. Oops, not a copper sheet. These two. And the question is, whether can I fit them all into one level? How many do I actually need? Have I written it down? So I need, basically I need 60 of each. Now they're a smaller machine. Yeah, they're a smaller machine. And we've got, you know, we can arrange them different. I mean, obviously this isn't the layout. What I would need to do. I need another, you know, fake underfloor to put splitters in. Like that one. The question is, will they all fit? You know, if I have them... Well, first off, how am I going to arrange them? Because they're a different size machine. You know, can I have 2 rows of each? And that'll work perfectly. Or would they need to be longer? I don't mind them being longer. That's not a... It doesn't matter. You know, I don't mind if I have to end up moving this up 1, and I did that in the other factory, or 2, or whatever, so it doesn't start there, it starts, you know, here or something. That's, you know, no problem with that. It's just, I don't want it to be too small. I don't want to sort of, you know, we need to plan it out, because if I build it all up and then it turns out I need to add on a whole load of extra stuff, or actually they don't all fit on one level, I have to do 2, because I quite fancy the idea of like almost like an L-shaped building. So we've got all of the smelting on the bottom, and then there's like 2 rows, or maybe it could be a T-shape, you know, so we've got then a thinner 2 sections, one with the steel pipes and one with the steel beams. I could even try and make a feature of the lifts, maybe, and we could have them actually visible on the outside. I quite fancy that idea, but if it all just fits into one level and it's perfectly the same width and that sort of thing, it's just easier to do it as a flat, you know, single floor. Cool. But that is for next time. So let's get the old schedule up. I'll be back tomorrow with a bit of Factorio. There's a schedule. It's the exact same normal schedule. So Satisfactory today and Friday. It's today and Monday. Usual times. Shouldn't be any problems with any of that. And then Factorio over the week, Saturday and Sunday, the weekend. Factorio, we will be playing the Crashtorio 2 mod both days. I've not done any of the bits I said I would do, because I've been playing the Chaos Demon Hunters rather than Factorio. Well, apart from that multiplayer test. And yeah, Crashtorio we can just keep going. The others I need to do some tidying up and stuff. So we're also at the point with Crashtorio 2 where I'm really getting into the Immersite, which is the properly new stuff. I don't know whether that means we're close to the end. I don't think so. But it'd be good to have a weekend playing that. And then say back to Satisfactory on Monday, where we will continue this. I might do a bit of fiddling about, but we'll probably just pick it up straight away and try and work out how many, you know, constructors and all that sort of stuff. Was there anything else I want to say? So I guess the other bits are, so if you wanted to catch up with any of my, if you're watching this on VOD, I guess that's the live channel if you wanted to join any of those streams. There is a converter on my channel if you wanted to look at your local time. And if you wanted to catch up on any of the VODs for any of this series or any of my other series, Dyson Sphere program and Factorio and all sorts of stuff on there, then they're all on that YouTube channel. If you also wanted to follow me on Twitter, then that's the address there. It's just my username. Both of those are sort of alias to Triggles, so that's a bit easier to say. And then if you wanted to join the Discord, as we were discussing earlier, I'm intending to use it kind of to sort of set up and do multiply. I know everyone's got Discord. It was I didn't really know what to do with it, but I think that's a good use for a Discord. Set that up, and we could possibly use it for audio unless we wanted to do Steam. Then that is there as well. Yeah, so if you have been watching, thanks for doing so. I hope you enjoyed it and you might consider coming back for another one. I've been Trismegistus. This has been Satisfactory. Thanks for watching. Cheers.